What's up, guys? It's Kictor. I'm back with my beautiful girlfriend, Stitch, who's going to tell us all about Stars of Chaos, Volume 2. Now, before we begin, I made a critical error in the little reel we made, where we were, like, guessing what's going to happen in the book. I called him an uncle fucker. And it's Godfather fucker.
Yeah.
Big difference.
It is really big of a difference, actually. I should have called you out on that one.
Yeah. So
I read this back in January? Came out in January. Then got horrifically sick.
Yep.
But not before I made the PowerPoints.
You'll never guess what's in chaos again. Might it be the stars?
It's the stars.
Wow.
Eat this book.
Like, you enjoyed it that much?
Yes, I enjoyed it so much. I was voracious for this book. I ate it. So this is like a historical-based book. It doesn't
Boring.
have... No! It doesn't have cultivation. Nobody's flying around on swords. They have swords, but they're not flying around on them.
Okay.
There's no magic. I mean, there's like debatable, like medicine doesn't really count as magic, even if the medicine is pretty magical.
Okay.
So I feel like it's a refreshing. It changes it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I love historical fiction. I really love how quick-witted the prose is. Like, it's very irreverent with its humor.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
Like, it starts out, like, in the first few pages, it talks about how, like, Guyun's, like, busy wiping the Emperor's ass. Not literally, but figuratively, as in just kind of, like, cleaning up, doing all of his dirty business. And I just thought that was really funny to read in print.
Yes.
I'm a simple woman, simple tastes. But also, like, it has just those tender descriptions of romantic feelings that just really balances out the humor and
the ass wiping.
And the ass wiping, if you will. Also, I'm a slut for steampunk technology.
Oh my god.
And it's got it, and it's not too complicated to understand. It's central to the story and the plot without being, like, super overwhelming. It's really integrated very well. There's a very surprising relationship development in this volume.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know how surprising it is. What do you think happens?
He fucks his godfather.
Well, maybe not quite that far.
Do they kiss? Is it like a romantic kiss, or is it like you're asleep and you don't know?
Oh, we're gonna go into the kissing.
Oh, I love the kissing.
Right? And it has some of my very favorite anime tropes of all time.
So someone gets sick.
I mean, technically, Guyun's been sick this entire time, and so has Chang Geng. They're both sick men.
Like us.
Yeah, I guess so.
Guyun working hard to make this country a home.
Yeah, so since the last volume, he's been busy, like I said, with the ass wiping. So there's a new emperor, right? He's putting in a bunch of new policies that, like, he's purging, like, corrupt officials. He's instituting laws for, like, regarding artificers, you know, like, who can make things with violet gold, who has access to violet gold. He's also, like, changed up, like, some laws regarding the military, you know, kind of, like, really centralizing his authority, which is, in some ways, a good thing, but also comes with some very serious drawbacks. And we're kind of seeing how those new policies have changed, like, the country and, solved some problems and created new ones. And it's really put Guyun in a very particular position because as the leader of the Black Iron Battalion, he's been nerfed, essentially. He can't really do anything without the Emperor's say-so now, whereas beforehand he had, like, free reign to kind of wander around and fuck shit up as much as he wanted. These new changes have kind of caused some, like, wide-swept changes throughout the country. So generals are quitting left and right. Like, he's really riling up the military, you know, with all of this, all these new laws. And Guyun is basically sent around as, like, the coolest military guy to kind of, like, put everyone in line and kind of get everyone on board with these new changes and stuff. So he's kind of dragging along an official that he hates and is torturing a little bit along the way of just driving him crazy. And he's doing what the Emperor asks him to, even if he doesn't necessarily approve of the changes. Mm-hmm. So he's just a good guy doing his best for his country. We've jumped forward in time a little bit since the last novel. From the very first pages, it really establishes that Guyun doesn't want power for his own sake, for his own glory, but really wants, like, peace for the country and prosperity.
Nice.
Yes.
Is he still blind?
Yeah. Yeah, he's still...
he can take medication for it, though, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of developing slowly as well. Like, he's still suffering with, like, partial blindness and deafness. He's taking medicine, but, again, strong medicine is pretty much the same as strong poison, ultimately. Like, there's side effects, it's growing less effective over time. He's running out of time before, like, his illness is really going to be too much for him to handle.
Right.
So he's kind of slowly declining, but really working as hard as he can.
Cheng Geng on a mission to become the most fuckable godson and to never feel an emotion again. Ah. Okay.
Okay, so I feel like the best way to describe Chang Geng's transformation over these years is kind of like what we've seen with Moran recently, in the most recent volumes of Arha. He's actually turned, like, when we last saw him in the first volume, he is just kind of a stubborn youth, really trying to seek approval from Guyon and, you know, always being treated like a kid. And so, since Guyon left to do his military business, like, a few years ago, he ran away from home and has kind of been wandering the countryside doing good deeds. He trained under, like, an obscure martial arts master. He's just been trying to school himself in various ways to become, like, the best possible person so he can be an equal to Guyon and maybe even possibly help him with things that he can't, like, carry the burden of alone.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still dealing with the poison of the Wu Argus, so essentially he has to be zen as fuck.
Okay.
Okay? If he shows any sort of, like, if he's not in perfect control over his emotions...
So he can't be horny.
Yeah, exactly. If he's not in perfect control of his emotions, that poison will take over him and, like, he will kind of lose his mind or, you know, be extremely violent or uncontrollable.
Psychological Ebola?
Basically, like some case file shit, for sure. So he's just very chill. He's a very calm, cool, collected person. And it's working really well for him. Basically, he's kind of like... And also he's, like, taking anxiety medication, essentially. Like, various forms. He's, like, sniffing lavender. It's, like, not that potent,
God.
but, like, he's, like, really doing everything an anxiety girly would do to just stay calm. And it's working really well for him. But, of course, Guyon is, like, you can't just be wandering around the countryside. So he's kind of been sending soldiers to, like, tail him, and he keeps losing his tails, and they keep finding him again. But, like, basically Guyon's been, letting him wander, but also trying to keep an eye on him from a distance, because he kind of gave up on bringing him back home. So they've been separated, like, completely for years.
Okay.
Which is a good time to grow up and get hotter.
Yes.
So he's grown up into a really nice young man. He's, like, really polite. He's really, like, charming. He's, like, very strong in, like, martial arts. And he's really strong in, like, he's learned medicine from, I don't know if you remember the doctor lady in the last book. Mm-hmm. But she's super cool. And he, like, has trained under her to learn medicine. Maybe to help a certain ailing godfather. We don't know.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, and so he's become quite fuckable.
Yes, less problematically young.
Yes, he's like, I don't know, he's like 20 now.
Okay.
So, like, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take it.
The plot in broad strokes.
Yes, so there's a lot of details. There's a lot of different arcs going on. There's some huge things. So we're just going to go over the actual nitty-gritty plot stuff in one slide and then focus on the juicy stuff.
Okay.
That's what I've decided.
The new emperor cleans house and institutes a bunch of strict reforms regarding the military, artificers, and violet gold, centralizing power but creating new vulnerabilities in the nation. Okay, so we just went over that.
Yep.
So, new guy, no one really likes him because he's causing a difference.
I mean, he's not bad. He's very smart, but he's
different.
You know, a little...
I used to take my lunch break at 10.
Yeah.
And now I have to do it at 10:30.
I might be ready to rebel over this. Yeah, so it's shaking things up.
The general responsible for protecting the southern border is mixed up with the bandits and the smuggling of violet gold. Guyon and co. take him down.
Yes. So that's like the whole, like, I don't know, first third or half of the book is kind of about this arc. This is where Chang Geng and Guyon like meet up again and travel together while kind of dealing with this potential problem at the border.
Okay.
Yes. Which reveals an even bigger conspiracy regarding the smuggling.
Okay.
But things get more complicated from there.
The Emperor wants to invade a friendly ally nation for violet gold, even at the cost of the still developing Silk Road. Guyon risks everything by rejecting the orders. I see. Okay, yes. Okay.
Yeah, so this is really serious because the military, again, is not very efficient at the moment because they don't have the freedom to necessarily move independently, like the different generals with their different armies. The nation is short on violet gold, which they need for their steampunk military powers, and
Yeah.
so like it makes sense that like to grow in military strength you need more violet gold. But
Right.
Guyun's like, this is not the way to do it, because if we invade our allies, we're going to destroy all of our economic prosperity that I've been like working hard on for years. Like this is what Guyun's been working on. He hasn't been like building his own military strength. He's been like actually working on like building this economic prosperity through the Silk Road with his army. So
Yep.
that's bad. So this is one of my favorite Dame tropes ever, is like he like kind of rejecting these orders from the emperor, like giving up his iron tiger tally and being like, please don't make me like do this, like I will like give up my authority, I don't want to do this, like short of like committing treason, like don't do this.
Yeah.
And he kneels all night in the snow.
Ooh.
Like kind of begging the emperor and being punished by the emperor, who like makes it. And so like this is my favorite thing, because it's like, you know, he's already like ailing a little bit, he's a little sickly, and then you like do this overnight and it's the perfect like, oh no, oh no,
Oh no.
oh no. It's very sexy of him.
Yeah.
And when Cheng Geng finds out about this, it's pretty significant how upset he is.
Okay. Enemies of the nation contrive a threat at the border to trigger a chain of events that implicate Guyun and cause him to be thrown in prison.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're already out there nearly committing treason, and now this happens.
He's done everything to avoid committing treason.
Yeah. But you've already stood up against the emperor, so at this point,
Yeah,
you're already in his
very
bad books,
suspicious.
kinda.
Yeah, he's like played everything so safe, like even giving up like, hey, I have the special, you know, basically I do what I want card that you gave me, I'm giving it back. The emperor is like so suspicious of him though. He's like, oh, so you actually think you can do what you want even without your special card from me? That's like how strong you think you are? Like he's already that suspicious of him and anyone who can threaten his power. So that's bad. There's a bunch of people working against him to frame him. And so again, the chain of events is insane though. So that's on another slide of like how all this connects to Guyun. But ultimately, he's thrown in prison. That's the important thing. He just wants to help. And this is bad because he's thrown in prison at the same time that the country is attacked from all borders and thrown into chaos thanks to the stars.
So their best military leader is in prison while this happens.
Which is very intentional on whoever's orchestrating all of this, right?
Great.
But yeah, this is like a huge development. Like the country is like at war, facing so many like different like enemies who have combined forces. It's like a huge, huge deal. It's crazy. Oh yeah. This is a self-portrait of the author.
Okay.
Priest. That was a drawing of priest by priest.
I thought you drew it.
No, it does look like something I would draw. I found that on the Stars of Chaos Wikipedia though, so I'm not actually sure. I'm assuming that's true. Forget about the war.
Okay.
Here are all the great things that happen in this book.
Okay. Gay panic.
When they meet each other, like for the first time after years, immediate gay panic on both sides.
Oh, okay.
It's, you know, Guyun's like doesn't even recognize him. He's like, who the fuck is this handsome young man? Like, doesn't even know it's him. Chang Geng though is like embarrassingly like so stressed and yet so happy. Like he just wants to look at him. He just wants to like stare into his eyes. He just wants to like look at all of his mannerisms. He's so happy. But he's also like, he's been like casually dressing up and like riding his horse down the same road every single day for like weeks.
So he'll see him?
So he'll like run into him because he knows he's traveling in that direction.
Stop, that's
just to,
so
like, act
embarrassing.
Casual.
Chang Geng is doing
Yeah.
that? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is this written in the perspective where you can hear both their thoughts?
Yes.
Oh,
It
cool.
does
Okay.
go back and forth between them quite a lot, which I really do appreciate.
Arha is written like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You definitely-
Thousand Autumns is not written like that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going on in Yanushi's mind?
Nothing good.
Sharing a bed?
Yeah. So like.
Someone still having nightmares?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you have a good memory. So like immediately after they meet up, they have to go to the inn together, and it's like, oh no, there's only one room. There's like two rooms, but they split things up, so like they're in the same room, and it's great. And they have to sleep together on this like little cot together.
Oh my god.
And it's so sweet because so like he's like catching up with Guyan, and he's like telling him all about like what he's been up to over the year, and Guyan's so tired that he just kind of falls asleep listening to him. And Chang Geng like tucks him into bed and almost kisses his forehead. He's just like so sweet and loving to him. And yeah, they share a bed. It's cute. It's really cute.
Homoerotic acupuncture.
You know.
I mean, it's kind of like a massage.
Yeah.
A pokey massage.
Yeah. So, like I said, Chang Geng's been like studying medicine over the years, and so he's picked up like acupuncture among other things. And so this is just kind of one of the ways he tries to help Guyan like with his symptoms from like his medicine and his illness. So like there's like a scene where he's like getting out like the needles, and Guyan's like, yeah, just stick me, bro. And he's just like having gay panic, like, oh, like I can fucking touch you, like sort of thing. And he's like, are you sure you can do this?
On
like,
his
you
naked back.
Yeah. He's like, are you sure you can do this? Because you look like you're gonna throw up. And he's literally just like, I can't even look at him. Oh my god. Can't even touch him. Can't even think about it. Like he's perfectly like competent with the actual needles, but he is like having major gay panic.
Love that. Defending each other in battle.
Yes. Like Chang Geng, again, like has really upped his skills and is now like a superb archer. His obscure martial arts teacher is actually used to be a very famous archer general in the military that Guyan knew. He didn't know what he was up to these days, but apparently he was teaching Chang Geng.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's kind of like a thrown aside information. You don't actually see the master. He doesn't seem important at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, great archer skills. So they're kind of, they have each other's backs and are able to kind of be more on equal footing there, which is really nice.
Hand touching.
Oh yeah. Chang Geng is big on holding hands.
Really? That's so cute.
And Guyan's like, oh, this is fucking gay. You.
Really?
Yeah, it's really
But
interesting.
I thought Guyan liked him.
There's this scene where Chang Geng just touches his hand really intimately, like in a moment, and Guyan's like, it's not gay to kiss the homies once or twice, but holding hands like this is for some reason really weirdly intimate, and I feel kind of uncomfortable by this.
Stop.
Guyan suddenly felt a bit awkward. Between close friends and brothers, embraces, joining hands, horseplay, even a kiss or two was unremarkable. Military officers didn't care for meaningless etiquette, but this gesture was really too clingy.
Oh my gosh. Wow, he's gonna be that guy?
Yeah, he's like, what is happening here? He doesn't quite suspect him yet of having feelings, but he's just like, bro, this is a little sus.
Okay.
Kiss on the mouth would be fine, but none of this hand touching business.
That's so funny. Carrying a memento for years.
Yeah.
That's not gay, however.
Yeah, Guyan, explain that. So remember when he stole that bamboo flute?
Yes.
He's been carrying it with him every day for years.
But if you touch my hand, I'm calling you the F slur.
It's true. It's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Drunken makeout?
Oh yeah, so that happened. Okay.
We're really kissing the homies goodnight.
Literally. Okay, so it's Guyan's birthday.
Okay.
And Guyan...
Hey, it's not gay if it's your birthday.
Exactly. Guyan, his bro, Shanyi, and Chang Geng are all there. Everybody's drinking. Like, everyone gets mega drunk and having a great time. It's his birthday. Chang Geng helps him get to bed. He's like, you're wasted. I'm just gonna tuck you in, call it a night. Well, so Guyan's really flirty when he's drunk. He's like flirting up a storm.
Still not gay though.
Still not gay. And Chang Geng asks like, do you even like recognize who you're talking to? Like, do you know who I am? Trying to confirm like, how drunk is he? Like, to be acting like this. And like he's really like, Guyan's really thinking about it, but finally like his memories jogged and he's like, oh yeah, Chang Geng. Like, and so he says his name, and then Chang Geng just is like having a moment, and he just like kisses him really impulsively.
Ooh.
And Guyan reciprocates.
Oh no.
And they are making out on the bed.
Oh my god.
And getting really handsy. So and he's like, oh my god, what have I done? So he freezes, like he stops. But then Guyan is like even more flirty and like takes over and is
my
like,
god.
like kissing him like back, like all over, like kissing him, like tugging off his robes, like he's going, it's full on, like.
Oh my god!
But Chang Geng is like still like asks him like again, like who am I? Like trying to like feel like, are you like just so drunk? Like is this actually happening because you like know it's me or not? Like he doesn't even dare hope.
Yeah.
But he's too drunk to even like answer.
Oh.
And so he gets stuck on like the knot on his belt, and he's just like trying for like an obscenely long time to just like undo the knot, and he gets so tired and doesn't manage to succeed, so Guyan just like falls asleep, like exhausted from the effort.
Gosh!
And then Chang Geng is like so sad and just so upset, and is just like so just confused over everything, and he just leaves.
The next morning, he better be like, so you can untie my knot, but we can't hold hands? Oh my god.
So, yeah, he wakes up, Guyan wakes up, like Chang Geng's obviously, he's already long gone, he's like, I'm out of here, I'm gonna go to a temple, just pray it out. Guyan wakes up super hungover and is like, fuck, I got so drunk last night, what even happened? And he remembers harassing a servant girl.
Oh, right.
A girl, obviously, there
Yeah.
was nothing gay happened. He's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I was making out with somebody, obviously a servant girl. And then he's like, there's not a single woman in this household. We don't have any servant girls.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, piecing it together in his mind, and he's like, oh no. And he remembers. And has absolute, like, crisis over it.
Oh no.
Because Chang Geng is, like, left the building. He's gone. He's like, both of them have assumed that it is their fault, and the other person is mad at them.
Right.
So, classic drunken makeout situation, right?
Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh man, I really messed up by kissing him.
Yeah, but
Oh.
in the bed, the sachet, like a little calming medicine that Chang Geng always had with him, is left in the bed, and so he knows it was Chang Geng, that not a servant girl.
Oh my god. Are you happy to see me, or is it just your sachet of calming medicine in your pocket?
Just breathe this, be calm, don't be gay. Just breathe on the lavender and don't be gay. Yeah, so that makes things quite a bit awkward between them after that, because they both assume that the other one is mad at them and that it's all their fault.
Right.
Yes, when really it is both their faults.
Yes.
Equally. Yeah, so things are very awkward between them after that. But, you know, it's still very ambiguous territory because they're both drunk. It could have been a straight situation, right?
Yeah. Oh, I see hand kissing.
Yes, yes. So,
No hand holding.
only
I'm not hanging up on the hand holding part, okay?
and you're really upset that hand holding is too gay for the homies.
I am. God.
Okay, so after Guyan he kneels all night in the cold,
Right.
thanks to the emperor, Chang Geng finds out about this, like, in the morning, and he, like, rushes over there, and he's having a full-on, like, argue anxiety attack over this. Like,
Okay.
the, like, feeling, like, almost, like, just this uncontrollable, like, despair and rage and all these other feelings, like, over him suffering like this on top of already being sick. And so, it's very Moran-coded, all of this, it's very good. Like, he finds him, like, he throws a cloak around him, he puts him in the carriage, like, and he is just so distraught that Guyan's like, wait a second, you care a little bit too much about me. And he asks Chang Geng point blank in the carriage, half dead at this point,
Why are
do you
you
like
gay?
me? Why are you gay? He's like, do you like me? Just point blank. Brutal. And meanwhile, Chang Geng is like, again, having an actual, like, poison attack as we speak. This is the worst possible time for him to be asked this question.
Yeah.
But it's gonna come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he, in this, like, moment where he barely has control over himself, like, he just grabs his hand and kisses it.
Aww, that's
know.
really sweet.
Like, he's just so full of so much devotion and love that he doesn't even know what to do with it. Like, he's been hiding it for so long. Like, and he's so upset and so scared for him.
And Guyan is like, that woman on the bus.
Yeah. And it comes out, like, Chang Geng, like, confesses that he does love him.
Oh my god.
And Guyan's like,
In book 2?
yeah.
Wow.
And so you're like, what on earth are they going to do with this information now?
Yeah.
Because Guyan's just like,
I cannot believe that. He was so gay even in the first book.
I know.
Wow.
But essentially,
Homophobia runs deep.
oh yeah, so after, like, he kisses his hand, he, like, kind of coughs up blood. He's like throws up blood in the corner.
Guyan.
Chang Geng does because
Oh.
he's like that again. It's like a poison attack. He's like actually like coughing up blood. But yeah, so it's out now, and Guyan's just like, okay, we have more important things to worry about than you having your little gay crisis thing.
Oh my god.
The thing is, like, Guyan is so dismissive of him. You know, he's a little bit less dismissive of him as an adult, but he still, to some extent, like, just can't see him as anything other than, like, his little godson.
Okay.
You know?
I mean, that's the opposite of grooming.
Yes, we love that for him. He just can't take him seriously. He is very much dismissive of his own emotions, to be fair. Like, he doesn't really consider himself probably a person who's capable of having real human connection with other people.
Yeah.
Like, when we get to this naked in the bath part, like, this happens a little bit later. He's just kind of like, Guyan is soaking in the bath, and he, like, called Chang Geng over, and Chang Geng's like, you are literally naked in the bath. Like, I already told you that I like you. Like, why are you, like, doing this to me? Like,
kind of being mean.
it's kind of being mean, right? Because that's, like, how, like, not seriously he's taking him. He's like, so what if you like me? Like, I'm still, like, a man, and you're a man. He doesn't really get, like, the attraction part. He's like, it's not gonna do anything for you to see me naked, because I'm just a guy. It's, like, clearly missing the point. And there's a really good quote regarding how flippant he is, that Guyan could like maybe wrap his head around Chang Geng feeling affectionate towards him, but he can't understand that he would be attracted towards him.
Says the man who was grabbing his hips and his belt in his bed.
Exactly.
Oh my god. No. I'm only drunk when I'm only gay when I'm drunk.
Doesn't count. Essentially, though, Guyan just has decided in his head, oh, he just has daddy issues of some kind, so this is just a phase. He'll get over it.
Oh
I can't feed into his delusions. He'll be fine, though. He'll work it out.
Right.
Like, I've suppressed every emotion in my body, and I turned out fine. Like, he's ready to just roll and pretend that he didn't hear anything.
Right.
And Chang Geng is, meanwhile, feeling so much guilt and shame over this that he's immediately like, I feel this way, but I swear I would never, like, act on it or impose anything on you. Like, I just want to, like, I don't want to disappoint you. I want to live up to, like, I just want to be a perfect godson. I swear, like, just don't reject me completely. Just let me be normal around you. And so Guyan is at least kind of giving him that by ignoring his feelings.
Sure. We can still be bros and father and son.
It's, yeah. So I thought that was a really interesting twist, that we got the love confession so soon, but that it clearly wasn't the right time for Guyan to even, like, think about that as something serious to consider.
Okay.
I think he just really thinks that Chang Geng, like, is confused.
Yeah.
And is mixing up feelings with him. And Chang Geng is really standing his ground on that. He's like, look, I'm not asking you for anything. But I do need you to know that, like, I like you carnally.
Yeah.
Like, he doubles down on that when he's just like, you have daddy issues. He's like, look, I understand. Like when I was growing up, like, the emperor was really nice to me, and, like, I was really fond of him too as a father figure. And he's just like, did you want to fuck the emperor? And he's like, no. He's like,
Oh my god. Oh my god.
he's like, I need you to understand that I would sleep with you right now. And he's like, okay, anyways, moving on. Give me a towel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Huh.
So, all of these things happen, and
Well,
we're just...
I think
clear
there's
as a
gonna
long
be
way to go.
some, like, Guyan realization thing where he's like, yeah, I actually knew it all along, but I knew that it would, like, kill you if we did anything, so I was pretending to be straight.
I don't know, I think Guyan thinks he's straight. He's gonna have his moment, where he... I mean, I see where this is going. I feel like Chang Geng has come so far in, like, doing everything he can to understand who Guyan is as a person. Like, he's studied, like, his calligraphy. He studied, like, his whole, like, his martial arts, his military strategy, everything, like, literally book studying on Guyan and, like, his whole history to, like, and he's reached a point where, like, he's kind of, like, the perfect sidekick to him because he knows exactly how he's thinking, exactly how he operates, and he's always there for him and supporting him. Like, he really is, like, perfect boyfriend material. He has that kind of, he's grown so much in maturity and skill level that he is, you know, ready to be his equal, but Guyan just isn't ready to be vulnerable with anybody.
Yeah.
or even consider that as an option. So we've got all these juicy moments, but like emotionally, there's still a ways to go.
Okay.
Yeah. But I have done some actual science on a very important aspect of Guyan being gay with the homies.
Okay.
Next slide.
Empirical study. Have Guyan and Shun Yi kiss?
Okay, so if you remember Shun Yi from the first volume, like, that was like the guy who was, you know, pretending to be his brother, you know, in the first book. He's a very responsible one. He, like, loves artificing. His right-hand man in the military, right? Like, these two are close. They are, like, actually close, like, brothers. They are, like, absolute homies. But there were some things that Guyan either said or thought or did that I'm like, have these two kissed? I'm not saying they had any romantic feelings for each other at all, because they are definitely, like, tried and true homies. But in terms of kissing the homies goodnight, have they ever, like, shared a kiss?
Right.
I was convinced that this was a possibility.
It's like, where did Guyan get this perspective that, like, kissing the homies goodnight is not gay?
Yeah.
Was it something learned?
Exactly. Like, when he, like, was having his moment over, like, the hand holding, and he, like, literally thought in his head, a kiss or two between homies in the military? Psh, no problem. I'm like, who are you kissing in the military? Yeah. Like, so this sparked an empirical study.
Okay.
Okay, and I have all of the receipts. When I will tell you what we'll go through this step by step. Okay. And we'll learn what the ultimate decision on this is. Okay. Because I am right.
So Guyan states that it is not gay to kiss the homies once or twice on page 101.
Yes, which we, that was the quote from earlier, but, like, to repeat it again, between close friends and brothers, even a kiss or two was unremarkable. And he kind of elaborates that, you know, this is even truer in the rank and file of the military. You know,
Okay.
So, which, again, a lot of his backstory with Shun Yi, like, they went through their entire military history together, okay?
Yep.
So there was clearly, like, a good foundation for this to apply.
Guyan is not above a little smooching when he gets wasted, and Shen Yi is more openly sappy for Guyan when wasted.
Okay, so when they got drunk at Guyan's birthday, Shen Yi is like usually, like, you know, they are, you know, kind of macho men with each other, and they're always bickering like brothers.
Yes, macho men have never been gay together before.
Okay, like, they're definitely, like, even though they care for each other, obviously, like, they're not going to say anything nice to each other. They're going to be, you know, very blatantly derogatory towards each other. But they both get drunk together, and suddenly, like, Shun Yi is, like, saying all these nice things about Guyan, and, like, really just being like, bro, you've been through it, and, like, you're such a good guy, like, saying all these really nice things that he truly feels deep in his heart and wouldn't say sober.
Right.
So that's cute. And clearly, you know, as we've seen with the incident with Chang Geng, like, if he gets drunk enough, he's just in full-on flirty kissy mode.
Yeah.
So you put those two personalities together, it seemed very likely, right?
However, the two of them never got drunk together.
Yes, so, like, this is where I got it. But, like, that far, I was thinking this is totally an option. This seems very likely. But, you know, we start seeing evidence that this is not the case, that they would have had the opportunity to kiss under these drunken circumstances.
Yes.
Because on page 160, this is what it says. So, this is really funny because after Guyan wakes up hungover, realizing he kissed Chang Geng, the first thing he does is run to Shun Yi, which I thought was adding to the evidence at this point. Like, this has happened before. I need to go talk to my homie about this. He asks him, like, do I go crazy when I get drunk? Like, he's asking Shun Yi, like, what am I like when I'm drunk? I'm like, oh my god, they've kissed.
Yeah.
But Shun Yi replies, you've never really gotten that drunk before, have you? And the book says, these two soldiers lived on the frontiers year-round. Even when they drank, they never risked getting drunk, lest some emergency arise and they botch a military operation.
Okay.
And even Shun Yi is, like, kind of, like, curious, and he's like, did you do something embarrassing yesterday that, like, I didn't know about? Like, he doesn't seem to think that this was a possibility, and he's never personally seen
So
Guyan
they've definitely
get
smooched sober before.
So at the very least, getting drunk together and kissing doesn't seem to have happened.
Yeah.
Based on the evidence presented to us.
Okay.
Now, here's the crazy thing.
Guyan does imagine kissing Shen Yi, but this confirms no prior experience. That's a little gay.
It is a little gay. So, let's go into that scene. Guyan is still thinking about what happened with him and Cheng Geng. And he's assuming that Cheng Geng is mad at him and has run away to the temple because he is so angry at him that he doesn't want to see him. So he goes to the temple. He's on his way to the temple to bring him back home and apologize. And he's just trying to think about what Cheng Geng is thinking at this time, trying to get into his head so he can apologize better. Because he's like, wow, he must be really mad at me. But he's also like, why would you be mad? Like, obviously, like, maybe we kissed, okay, but like, what's a make out between bros? Like, it's not that serious. Like, there's no way you should be taking it this seriously, right? Why would you be taking it so seriously to be this mad at me?
Right.
So he's thinking, that's right, Guyan mused, his mind following the thought to its logical end as his imagination took off in a wild flight of fancy. If I laid one on Shen Jiping, there's no way he would take it seriously. With that poverty-stricken face of his, he wouldn't think I meant anything by it at all. Honestly, if I kissed him, the one drawing the short straw would be me. The more he thought about it, the more sense it made and the more awkward he felt. So, like, it's just, he literally imagines kissing his homie and is like, even if I did that, like, it would be, like, so ridiculous. Because he's like, first of all, he's, like, not attractive at all. It would be, like, so because I'm so handsome. He has a very high opinion of his looks.
Yes.
But, like, it's just so ridiculous. He wouldn't think anything of it. He wouldn't be mad at me because obviously there wouldn't be any, like, homoerotic contest.
Yeah.
However, he is thinking about how Cheng Geng has, like, kind of seen a lot of the world, and
he went to that town where all of them are gay.
I think so. Like, there is literally, I think that's, like, kind of what his conclusion is, like, so, like, he's kind of realizing, like, this is his thought right here.
He went to San Francisco.
Literally! Guyan started. He suddenly remembered that there were people from all walks of life in the Zhenghu. Since the establishment of maritime trade, the popular customs in Great Liang had become increasingly liberal. In particular, the rumor had it that male homosexuality was prevalent in the coastal areas along the East Sea. As a white dragon who had transformed into a fish to swim amongst commoners in a deep pool, could it be that Cheng Geng had been harassed by someone who didn't know their place? Was that why he was so angry the other day? He's saying, look, Cheng Geng has been wandering around, like, the martial arts world all around the country for years. There are some places where, like, being gay is so popular that he probably has had experience, like, you know, having someone come on to him.
This is offensive.
He's like a straight man. He thinks he's a straight man so much. So he's just thinking, oh my god, like, he, like, is so actually offended by this because this is, like, a real scenario to him.
Yes.
Like, this could actually happen to him. I've never even thought about being gay before, so, like, this is just crazy.
Oh my god.
So he's comparing that vision in his mind of this random assumption with, like, yeah, if I kissed Shen Yi, like, he wouldn't even think anything of it.
Yeah.
Because no one's ever hit on him.
Yeah. That makes me think that they haven't kissed, though.
Exactly. So, again, he literally imagines kissing him, which means he hasn't had any experience kissing him.
So you had about 70 pages, though, to consider that they had kissed, though.
This is a running theory, and I genuinely wanted to figure this out, and I ultimately decided they have not kissed.
Okay.
It's hilariously plausible, but the book really goes out of its way to confirm that in the gayest way possible.
I see.
Which I love. They're great homies. Like, even if they did kiss, it would be as homies, but...
Okay. So they proved to you that you can kiss some homies goodnight, and it is just goodnight.
They could very well, like, even, they could have. I feel like they really could have. That it could have happened, and it would be completely canon compliant.
And not gay.
You know, after some investigating, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay. Pop quiz. Circle the answer that does not belong in Volume 2 of Stars of Chaos. A sea monster, a rat, a boner, anxiety medication, the Pope? Not the Pope. They go to Vatican City.
Which one of these do you think is not present in the volume?
There's no way the Pope is in this.
Is that your answer?
Well, okay, I want to say a boner because I feel like that you haven't told me of any yet. even though it seems like there should be. There is no way the Pope is in it, though.
You're gonna have to choose between a boner and the Pope.
Between a boner and the Pope, I'm gonna pick the Pope.
The Pope is a very present side character in Stars of Chaos. He has lines of dialogue. He's in several scenes.
Is it like a Roman Catholic Pope? Stop.
The Pope?
Which one?
The Pope? Okay, granted, they don't exactly say the Catholic Church, but
Okay.
it is presumably the Pope of the Catholic Church.
I feel like my timeline of like, when was the first Pope? Was it closer to Cleopatra or a Stegosaurus?
Well, it's after the death of Christ. I need you to know.
I always pictured like
several-
Dan May stuff happening before Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say usually. However, this is not like
historical.
deep. This
How
is just-
historical, yeah.
How historical is it? The Western world exists and is interacting with China.
Okay. And I guess they have like modern weapons, kind of.
Yeah, you know, the
but
clocks.
also,
okay,
when
here's a
when
good
I
example.
think of-
Clocks exist in the world. Okay, there's clocks. There's steampunk clocks.
Are there clocks and have an official blessing?
I don't think so.
I think Hua Chung would wear a digital watch.
Yeah, he would, inexplicably. Everything else is just, fantasy.
Oh my god.
So there's no boner in this volume, which is funny because there was a boner in
No,
the first
I
volume.
am not done with the Pope. Why is he in the story?
He's invading China with an army, with a naval army.
Has this happened in the real world?
I'm not sure if there's historical precedent for the Pope backing a naval army invading China. No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Um,
Does the Pope know they're gay?
Not at this time. The Pope, okay, I will give some credit to the Pope. Like, okay, invading China, not generally a good thing, not generally a good guy thing to do.
Yeah.
He's kind of like very like spiritual about it though. He's like,
He's
it's so
the Pope!
He's so sad. He's like, wow, it's so sad that we have to like resort to violence.
It's like, you're the one doing this violence. It's just so sad that we had to do
We
this.
had to do it to him. We had to do it to him. Like there's other, yeah, so I will get more into that, I think. Some things we've already covered. Anxiety medication, Chang Geng's on it, lavender sachet, etc. No boner. We had it in the first volume, not the second volume. It feels to me like a little bit of a regression here. We deserved a boner. But I think it's kind of surprising. Mm-hmm. We'll get to the rat. I have a whole slide dedicated to the rat.
Okay.
The sea monster, actually, this is a little bit of a trick question because it's not a literal sea monster. It's a steampunk sea monster.
Oh, cool.
It's cool as shit. Ship, basically, with, like, tentacles of, like, and there's, like, ships, like, flying ships attached to the tentacles, and it's, like, just an epic monstrosity of death.
Cool.
And it shows up, and, like there's this like very like tiny military outpost on the coast. There's like we are going to like fly everything we have into this freaking monster, and we're going to all kill ourselves trying, but by God will we not let this thing like get in. And so they
Is like the Pope driving it?
the Pope, I'm not sure if he's on the octopus thing, but he is on a ship somewhere, I think.
Okay.
He is present, I
Yeah.
think. Like, he's not, like, in the Vatican. He's, like,
I just see,
there
like,
on the
this
ground.
Epic sea monster of steampunk.
He might be on
and
it,
he's
actually.
like, ah!
He might be on it.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure. I can't quite remember. Doesn't go down with the octopus or anything. He's alive and well.
Okay.
And he's just one of the invading forces that is at play here. Like, there's I have a list of everyone invading China. There's a lot. Okay. Essentially, when the war starts, they are attacked from all borders.
Yeah.
So, like, this is a very large combined effort, okay? So we've got the northern barbarians, okay? Whoever they are. They seem to show up in every historical danme. Japanese ninjas, which I think were present in the first volume. But I need you to know that ninjas are there. And they are short.
Okay.
They're like, yeah, we know they're ninjas because they're just so much shorter than Chinese people.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. The Western Navy under the Pope. Yeah, and I think that might be it.
Okay.
Yeah, so white people are there with the Pope.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And one of the guys working with the Pope was also involved in the violet gold smuggling with like the southern general at the border that they dealt with at kind of the beginning of the volume. So it's all kind of been in the works for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But moving on, because we've got other things to do.
Who do I need to kill? Oh boy.
This is a very long flow chart. Okay, so this is about Guyon's backstory, okay?
Okay.
Guyon was hit with a poisoned arrow as a child, okay? During an attack from the northern barbarians, which has made him sick, which has made him partially blind and deaf. Now, somewhere in the middle of the volume, Chang Geng feels terrible and personally responsible for this happening to him. And he also blames the entire, like, imperial family, like the emperor, the priest, emperor, everybody. So this got really complicated really fast. I'm like, wait a second, who is actually to blame for Guyon being sick? Who do I need to kill?
Yeah.
Chang Geng is like, who do I need to kill? Everyone on this chart is guilty.
Oh my god.
Somehow. Okay, so I need you to read, like, if you can read this, like, you will, using the flow chart, we will understand the hierarchy of blame attached to what happened to Guyon. And it's complicated. It's a whole arc in the book. I personally found it very difficult to understand until I did all of the research, because this kind of comes out in a backwards way, as it often does in Dama. You start, someone confesses over here at the end of the line, and then we kind of work our way back through several generations of who's responsible.
Okay.
But you can start at the top for this.
The suicide squad that ambushed the military camp where Guyon was with his father and mother, resulting in Guyon's chronic illness from a poisoned arrow, was sent under direct orders from the noble consort, the princess/goddess of the northern barbarians, who was sent to become a concubine to the emperor as a peace offering, to undermine the Black Iron Battalion and destroy its heir.
Okay, so she sent the orders, okay? And it's important to know that she is connected to Chang Geng because she is his mom.
Okay.
So that does ultimately, the family lineage goes down to him, okay? But proceed from there.
And then to the right, the noble consort's sister, who collaborated with her in the palace and later raised Chang Geng.
Yes.
So also related to Chang Geng.
Yeah, so her sister, Chang Geng's aunt, ended up raising Chang Geng as her son, and she is the crazy woman who hated him and gave him a lot of trauma.
Okay. But also, the emperor, who allowed himself to be beguiled and manipulated by the noble consort for years.
So he's partially to blame for letting this whole situation happen.
Yep. So that also leads to Cheng Geng.
So that's his dad.
The son by another woman in the imperial harem, the current emperor who is making life hell for Guyon.
So Chang Geng's half-brother is the current emperor who, again, in this whole process has kind of abandoned Guyon and is actively trying to displace him and take away his power after everything Guyon has done for the previous emperor and the current emperor.
Yeah.
So just insult upon injury.
Okay. So attached to the emperor is his brother, Wang Guo, who colluded with the noble consort to arrange the suicide squad and then tried to Guyon a second time.
Tried to kill Guyon, sorry.
Using poison in a gas lamp.
Yes.
Okay. Lots of people seem to want him dead.
Yes.
Okay. As a result, Guyon's childhood friend, the third prince, fell ill and died after Guyon unwittingly gave him the lamp. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so Guyon, a very nice child. This was like maybe, again, like a friend he loved dearly, but like this is like just adding to Guyon's trauma.
Yeah.
Not good.
Okay. A palace eunuch named Wu He helped pull off both assassination attempts. Years later, he wrote a letter in his own blood before committing suicide.
Yes, so that eunuch was hired by the brother, okay?
Yep.
And then he dies, which triggers the next part of the plot.
His adopted son took the letter to a general who was a soldier in the Black Iron Battalion when the suicide attack was made, who suffered charges for dereliction of duty and immense shame as a result.
So, this general, was there fighting during that attack. because this attack was an ambush that somehow got through their defenses, thanks to the noble consort, who had inside intel, like, all of the guys there kind of got demoted and have this deep personal sense of shame. So the adopted son of the eunuch gave that letter to the general. Now, the general, after receiving that letter, then...
Tan Hongfei with the Black Iron Battalion marches on the palace to demand the imperial uncle Wang Gui be brought to justice, which looks a lot like treason and implicates Guyan.
So because that general, receives the shocking information about, like, who is actually responsible for Guyan getting sick way back in the day, implicating all these people, he is so upset that, again, he goes and freaking to the imperial palace and demands justice. But unfortunately, because he is a general in the Black Iron Battalion under Guyan, this looks a lot like Guyan is trying to commit treason, which gets him thrown in jail.
I see.
So Chang Geng, again, this down here in the corner is how we learned about everything else.
Okay.
So it was very complicated reading this, and it's doable, but hopefully this helps anyone reading kind of put everything together. It was a lot of work, but really fun. But Chang Geng gets all this information all at once, and he just gets this immense loathing for the whole emperor's family, and including himself. He's like, Guyan sacrificed everything for this country, for this nation, for this emperor, for the previous emperor, and got nothing but illness and jail and
dead friend,
and me. He had to take care of me, and I am just related to all of this by proxy. And he feels personally responsible and hates everybody. And he's like, you know what? Treason sounds actually great. I only like Guyan.
He also had every right to kind of just hate Cheng Geng for no reason as well.
Exactly. Instead of hating the emperor, instead of hating the emperor's son, like, Guyan has been serving the nation loyally, even though, the nation, the emperor, has just kind of been giving him one tragedy after another. He's always been the victim, and the reason why he's the target of this is because, like, his family, has held the Black Iron Battalion, for generations, and that is, like, the strongest military force in the nation. So they are, even though they have been loyal from the beginning, they are always kind of seen as a threat to that central authority, and people have every reason to want to weaken the nation through them. So that's why he's kind of been the target as this inheritor of that estate.
Okay.
So Chang Geng gets all this information, has a bit of self-loathing, but he's ultimately really, like, wanting to side himself with Guyan, like, over everyone else. He's like, I don't care that I'm a prince of this nation. Fuck this nation for doing you so much harm.
Got it.
Meanwhile, Guyan's like, that's life.
Okay. I need to talk about this rat.
Look at him. Would you just look at him?
Would you just look at him?
So that's him in prison.
Okay.
With the rat. You can give me, I need my speaker's notes for this. This is important. We're going to talk. When I saw the picture flipping through this book, I'm like, that's hilarious that there's this little rat there, but surely it's just part of the picture, maybe mentioned once in the book and then forgotten. No. We get so much rat content in this volume.
Rat lore.
So, when Guyan was in prison, he was really bored. And he was so bored that he made this rat his pet.
Okay.
The rat finds him and his mischievous hands very annoying, and so when Guyan keeps poking him and playing with him, the rat just decides to play dead because he's so tired of Guyan's bullshit.
Okay.
And which is really fair and valid because Guyan plays with the rat by swinging it around by the tail.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Honestly, probably not fun for the rat. So, but you know what? The rat is okay. Technically, this may qualify as animal abuse, but the rat is just annoyed and plays dead.
Okay.
He's fine, okay? And more importantly, he's compensated for his troubles because the boredom was enough for Guyan to trauma bond with the rat. He henceforth refers to the rat as his younger brother.
Oh my god.
And orders his subordinates to take care of it when he's released from prison. And not only is this like a gag once, like he follows up. Like not only when he's out of prison, he's like, take this rat, take my younger brother. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The rat, take the rat. Carry the rat. Give him food and water. He's been through a lot. And you're like, that's hilarious. He brings it up again, though, okay? This is like a running... He doesn't forget about the rat even after he's out of prison.
Oh
Guys,
my
we're gonna,
God.
like, read through these scenes.
How's my rat doing?
Yeah. He tugged his arms out of Huadan's grasp and tossed him the gray rat that had been curled in his palm since they left the prison. This is my rat brother and closest confidant. Get him something to eat. Don't let him starve.
Stop.
With that, he turned and strode into the palace.
That's so cute.
Like, Guyon's, like, being released from prison to, like, because the country's just been invaded and, like, shit, we need him. So...
Is this supposed to show that he's gone a little bit crazy in jail?
He's, valid. No, though, because he's always been silly goofy.
Okay.
And this is very Wei Wuxian behavior of him.
Yeah,
but
I'm like either he's like just eccentric or like he has gone crazy.
He's always been this eccentric,
Okay.
unfortunately, so it's very in line with this character and not as concerning as it should be.
Okay.
But, and you think that's probably the last we see of the rat, although I'm intrigued, right? No. Several pages later, he checks up. After being in prison, Guyan has, like, a fever. Okay, he's a little bit delirious, to be fair, so could be contributing to this, but...
Okay.
Yifu, when did you get a fever? Guyan let out a quiet groan. Aches seeped from every joint, and his eyelids were so heavy that he could no longer lift them. He struggled to find his voice. Is my little brother still in good health? Who? Asked Chang Geng. Huadan, who had been following them closely, made a prompt sound of assent and produced that little gray rat, which was indeed still alive and kicking. Sir, he's doing perfectly well.
Stop!
Then I should be fine too, said Guyan, lethargic with illness.
That is so funny! Right? What? Oh my god.
He's like, is the rat okay? He is? Okay, I can make it.
That is so cute. I love that.
I know. So, my favorite character is now Guyan's little brother. His rat brother.
We should make that a thing. Like, if we're not feeling well, but, like, making it through, it's like, is my rat okay?
Is my rat brother
Yes.
okay?
He's okay.
Yes, sir. He's doing fine, sir.
Then I suppose I will make it through as well.
Isn't that great? Oh, yeah. Okay.
His plucky best friend that dresses as a girl.
Yeah, okay. So, my only disappointment with this volume is that, like, the side characters in the first volume were so central to the story, and I really expected to, like, catch up with them again after the time skip and really see, like, where, like...
They died.
Like, I want to see, like, what did they get up to? Like, like, did one become, like, a super cross-dresser spy? Did the other become, like, a major artificer? Like, I loved them. I was really endeared to them. They do appear... briefly, but they're just not very involved in the plot as much as I wanted them to be. So, Guyan does see them on page 131. He kind of comes home, and, like, so they've been doing well. Like, Chang Geng, like, has been friends with him the whole time. They've been working on stuff, but they just weren't really involved in the plot.
Clearly the Pope and a rat were more important than...
It's true! They honestly both of them had more screen time in this book. Yeah, so he shows up, and Guyan, like, immediately, like, was like, oh my god, I have to squish your cheeks.
Aw, cute.
Yes. So, it's described as having itchy hands. His itchy hands, he just had to squish them. So they're doing well. I forget what's his bucket. The tubby one, he ended up becoming, like, really cool with, like, making steampunk stuff. So, like, in the second volume, there's, like, these messenger birds that are, like, steampunk, and, like,
cool.
They kind of fly around and, like, deliver important messages. They're really cool, and they become very useful, but he made those, and, like, it's really cool. And even Shenyi is like, oh my god, I want to take them apart. They're so cool. And the other guy is still like, oh my god, Guyan's so hot. I want him. Yifu, why can't you be my Yifu?
Stop.
And Chang Geng's like,
There can only be one Yifu fucker in this novel.
It's true.
And it's gonna be me.
Yes. He's like, literally, like, if I hear you say something that ridiculous again, he's just thinking, like, he has a tally in his mind. Like, once it reaches 50, I'm going to punch him.
Oh my gosh.
Thankfully, he's safe for now. But, like, he kind of, grew up a bit, and so he's not able to cross-dress as well as he used to. He's a little disappointed about that. Like, he still, like, disguises himself, but...
That's so sad.
His pretty girl days are a little bit behind him.
Oh my god.
But he's still very gay, so...
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see if he gets his moment in the sun another time.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you like Stars of Chaos, you'll love Golden Terrace.
Yeah! So kind of with where Stars of Chaos has developed. I really found some nice similarities with Golden Terrace being like a historical novel with a military focus, no magical cultivation, and also like both of these books have disabled protagonists who really kick ass, and so that's awesome. And yeah, I will always promote Golden Terrace.
Yes.
At any chance I get. Yeah.
Aw. Well, that book sounds mighty interesting, Stitch. I'm excited to see where the third novel takes us.
Yeah, we'll probably get more Pope action.
Shut up! Subscribe for the Pope in Stars of Chaos. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!